SBC Media.
Welcome to iGaming Daily, analysing the news from the betting and gaming industry all over the globe. Supported by SBC Summit Latino America, bringing together the leadership teams and product specialists from retail and online operators in Latin American markets.
Discover the potential of Latin America's booming iGaming and sports betting markets at SBC Summit Latin America, the premier industry event in the region. Join SBC at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Miami from October 31st to November the 2nd. Register now at sbcevents.com.
Hello there, and welcome to Friday's iGaming Daily. My name is Andrew McCarron. I'm the stand-in host today. I'm the Managing Director of SBC. And we have a first-time podder with us today. We have Stuart Duff, who's the head of events for our European events here at SBC. Stuart, how are you doing?
Very good, Andy. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no problem. And there is a good cause to speak to you today. What can you tell us about SBC Summit Barcelona?
SBC Summit Barcelona is our biggest flagship event, coming up now in September. It's impressively how quick that one's growing. We're sort of doubling year on year at the moment. So yeah, the 10,000 people, 40,000 square meters of show floor. It's looking to be impressive.
I believe we've got a money off offer which expires tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. We wouldn't be amiss to not mention that. Super early bird finishes tonight, so get yourselves online and get your lower cost tickets before that one runs out. Make your finance team happy.
It certainly will make them happy. Get that money in nice and early. But one of the reasons we're talking today, again, it's around SBC Summit Barcelona. Last year, what we did for the first time was we ran our awards ceremony alongside the event. We moved it from its regular December timescale, and it went really well. So it's a move that we've looked to do from now on. It's a good adjunct to the SBC Summit Barcelona event itself, and it become very, very popular. You know, SBC has its award ceremonies this year. Can you just explain how this year's SBC Awards operates?
Yeah, absolutely. So this SBC Awards is our largest of the awards portfolio. It's a globally reaching awards program, has over 900 entries submitted each year from operators, affiliate suppliers, both small and large companies. This year is going to be our 10th edition of the SBC Awards. So it's a momentous occasion for SBC and the industry in general. So there is something really special planned there. We look forward to announcing that in the next couple of weeks in terms of the exciting show elements of it. But yeah, for the entry period that we're in at the moment, we're working through 40 categories this year. So we're down a few categories from last year. We listened to some of the feedback from the market and compressed a few of our categories, combining a couple of categories and extending the criteria within those to make sure that we were still reaching everyone within our community, but also keeping that show night as compressed and as possible. A little tweak we've made in there as well was from the social responsibility angle. We looked into the entries and we saw that people were looking at this category in some different ways. We really wanted people to hone in on the initiative itself and what was making you socially responsible for that year. So we've changed that award up to the socially responsible initiative of the year, which we really hope will hone in on a specific project or initiative that your team has worked on in that socially responsible category for the year.
Oh, excellent. I mean, to give a bit of a flavour as to how popular the awards are, how many entries did we get in last year?
Yeah, so last year, over 900 entries, 917 entries in 2022. So a really impressive number there. We're obviously looking to beat that this year. So that's one of the reasons we're here today talking about the awards and trying to drive some more of those entries in. We've already got some great entries in from some top tier companies. So yeah, very excited to see some more come in.
So, and obviously last year that was an average of more than 20 entries per category. So it's obviously some are more popular than others, but it goes to show you the quality of entries we're getting, and the desire of people to be recognised by the SBC Awards, which is quite gratifying because, I mean, you just mentioned it's been 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Given I ran the first one, and back then it was, they were originally called the Betting on Football Awards, and we had 4 categories. And we had it in a German theme bar in Fulham with an umpa band. And it ended up with a vote rigging scandal and a fight. So,
hopefully quite different to where we stand now.
Yeah, I think it's evolved a bit since in that time. So what can you tell us about the process, Stuart?
So we with a rigorous process here at SBC. Obviously, we set up our categories to give everyone the most success as possible. The first thing that's probably worth talking about is from those categories, the changes we made this year in terms of the actual criteria for them. So we've added some sort of tips and bullet points to each criteria. This will give people the idea of what our judges want to see in each category. It gives you a deeper understanding of what each category entails and what projects we should include to give you the best chance of success. So that's obviously the first stage to enter in, reviewing those categories, seeing where you sit for where your project, initiative or company best sits within the categories, reading those tips and then starting to write your entry itself. That's all done on our virtual platform. So as you're going through writing these awards, referring back to the site and the categories to make sure that those are relevant for the category that you're entering. We always do have a couple of tips and recommendations when entering. So if you're entering multiples of categories, do look to rewrite or tweak your entries or write a completely new entry if it's a very different category. Judges don't tend to look that favourably on categories that just have the same entry submitted multiple times over. So do rewrite those and make sure they're fit for purpose on the exact category. There's a supporting documents section, so add that supporting media, a little video and advert. Always add some extra spice to those entries when the judges are reviewing lots. Anything that you can do to make yours stand out from the crowd is definitely warranted. And then take your time on reading those full entry criteria. Those bullet point tips have been added this year to make sure that we're definitely receiving the right entries in the right categories and that you guys have all the information you need to for the best chance of success.
A couple of years ago, we actually ran a webinar on good tips to learn when it comes to writing entries. We've still got that on our YouTube, so I'll make sure it's in the description of the podcast so people can catch up on that as well.
Excellent. And then obviously once the entries have closed, we go through to shortlisting and creating winners lists, which is where our industry judges and revered industry professionals come in. So we work at all the judges being selected based on their profession within the sports betting and iGaming industry. So we allocate them to the categories that make sense for their experience. And this is something we're really doubling down on this year and really scrutinising, making sure we have all the right judges for the right categories to continually keep this awards at the top of the industry where it sits. Worth noting as well that all these judges sign non-disclosure agreements, so any of the information that you've submitted is completely safe and secured by both SBC and the judges. And then these judges work to rate these awards within the categories, hopefully giving us a clear winner and potentially a silver and bronze award there too. If we ever run into a category that judges are a bit torn on, we want to see clear winners, so we start adding more judges to those categories that are obviously relevant judges to really try and make sure we have that clear winner, and then hopefully that drives us the clear winner with the extra judges added, and then we're through to show night when the lucky winners are awarded.
And do we know who's going to be helping present the awards this year?
Oh, that is tightly in our pocket at the moment. We're launching a couple of interesting show night bits of information in the next few weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for those, both from a exciting venue and host perspective.
Yeah, it's usually a really good way to finish the show. It's always interesting and more professional people than I am, because I used to host these awards, and now we've actually got people who know what they're doing in. So it's good to see. I mean, why are these awards important to the industry? I mean, obviously most industry have the awards, but why do the ones that we do resonate, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, across all awards, benchmarking is extremely important for any business who wants to grow or stay on top. Obviously, the team recognition part of it is huge. But that sort of stretches across most good quality award shows. I think the size of ours makes it a big difference. Over 900 entries, it's no mean feat, and being shortlisted from those 900 is obviously overwhelmingly impressive. Even talking winning on top of that. I always think from looking at the SBC portfolio of companies entering these is it's the dedication of the people who are attending our events and who are submitting entries. They take real time to write these entries. They put some real thought into it, some real good background information on the companies and the entries, and then they show up in force to the award shows themselves, bringing the whole team to hopefully celebrate a win.
No, definitely. I mean, as you said, over 900 entries. It does take the whole team to read every single one of them. Every one of them does get read. Some are easier to discount than the others.
Absolutely.
You get some people who think a couple of paragraphs will do, but when they're up against some of the other entrants that are really detailed, really interesting, and have sort of some good figures in there, it's a no-brainer as to which ones should go through to the judges. That's for sure.
Absolutely. I always think it's really interesting the amount of places I've seen the SBC Awards logo hosted around the industry. There's betting shops, on stands at events, not even just our events. In the Air Malta In-Flight magazine, there's people are hosting the SBC Awards win logo in lots of places. So it's lovely to see it hosted all around the world in lots of different formats.
Oh, well, that's good to see, because one of the reasons when I set up the awards, I was always very jealous of the EGR Awards, which obviously have been going for a bit longer, and rightly maintain a good high standard. But it used to get name checked in TV ads, and I was thinking, Great. One of these days I want to be on there. So it's I got a bit closer when William Hill won one, and they were using it in their shop windows. So yeah. that made me realise that we'd done a good job in providing something that people respected and really wanted to win. So it's
there's my next target. Then we'll have to catch up with some of our partners here on how we're going to get the SBC Awards on TV. I'll take that note down.
Yeah, well, let's do it before they start stopping all TV advertising for gambling. Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
The deadline for submissions was originally yesterday. Can you tell us anything more on that?
That's right. So yes, it was yesterday, but don't worry, you haven't missed the chance to get them in. So we will, due to popular demand, we will extend by another week. So we're extending until next Friday, the 30th of June. So one last week to get those final entries in. So please contact your SBC representative if you do have any questions. But yeah, you've got one more week. Let's drive those last couple of entries in and make sure nobody misses out and misses that final deadline there.
Yeah, I think that's always the way with every single award in every single industry. Sometimes there's a bit of a buffer zone because this week we've been inundated with emails, people saying, "Can we just have a little bit longer? Can we just have a little bit longer?" Because
absolutely,
I guess it's like being at school and you've got a homework deadline.
Yeah. Always left to the last minute.
Always left to then realise you don't actually have time, so you just please can I have an extension. So it's good news. People have still got another week to be able to do that. So that's great news. With regards to what evening is it at the awards again? What was the date?
So we are on the Thursday, the 21st of September.
And that's obviously over in Barcelona to go alongside the show. So it's quite exciting. So wasn't last year's awards around about one of the first events you joined us?
It was, yeah, you're exactly right. So I started 2 weeks before the Barcelona show last year. Just joined just in time to get out there and see what the team was delivering, take some notes, and then return to the drawing board for this year. And
how are you finding the gambling industry?
Great, yeah. I think I've been met so many customers at our events over the last 10 months, and all of them have great things to say about SBC. And like I've been saying throughout and during this podcast, I think the dedication of the customers to SBC is one of the things that really sets the industry and the company apart from some of the other brands in the industry.
Well, I, for one, am very pleased that you're here to oversee the awards. So like I said, it used to be really within my remit, which I found very frustrating after the awards when people were moaning about not being shortlisted or not being not winning. And you get people on LinkedIn complaining, saying, "Oh, we should have won this because of this." And you look at it and think that's really cogent argument. Yeah, they should have won. So you go back and have a look and you realise that all the points that they've made in their LinkedIn post or wherever, they didn't actually put in their own submission. So, there's only so much we can do, but mind reading is not part of the judge's remit, I'm afraid.
Not quite yet.
So it's frustrating some of the reputation that awards in general get, given how much work we put into these.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the reasons that this year we've sort of built out those category easy for me to say. I think that's one of the reasons this year that we've built out the categories and criteria a little bit further, adding those tips and bullet points to give people some real insight into what they need to include in each category. It's almost like a checklist of things that you should include to have the best chance of winning, because as we say, people get there afterwards and they hear what other people have done, or they see things mentioned on the night or post and think, I should have included that. So now we've included a sort of good selection of things that you really need to include in each different category, and hopefully that'll mean people don't miss out on adding their vital information during the entry process.
Fantastic. And where can people put their awards in, Stuart?
Absolutely. So if you go to the sbcevents.com website, you follow through to the awards tab and the SBC Awards 2023 page. All the categories are listed on there, each one with a link through to applying for that category. And that takes you through to our SEO platform. But yeah, short answer, head on to sbcevents.com and follow the awards link, and that'll take you straight through to categories and entry.
Fantastic. So everybody stop listening to this and start putting in your entries. You've got one extra week, so get to it. Stuart, thanks very much for your time today.
Excellent. Thanks, Andy.
And thanks to everyone who's joined us today. Goodbye now.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of iGaming Daily, brought to you in conjunction with SBC Summit Latino America, being held at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Miami on the 31st of October to the 2nd of November. If you want to find out more about some of the subjects raised today, feel free to explore any of the sites in the SBC News Network. Happy reading.